You're listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Bill McIntyre, and it's time for this week's Long Island News, the show that talks to newsmakers and other important people from Nassau and Suffolk County that matter to Long Island and Long Islanders like you. So each week we'll have a conversation about issues that affect all of us. I live on Long Island just like you, and I want to know more about where my tax dollars are going, and I want to know more about the people making the big decisions that affect all of us. Well, this week, we're going straight to the top. And welcome back to this week's Long Island News, and for the first time in studio with us, the County Executive of Nassau County, Mr. Bruce Blakeman.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to this week's Long Island News.
I appreciate it.
Well, let's just start out with the idea that we are Nassau Community College, and you're the Nassau County Executive. So it's kind of like you're in the hot seat, and you're the guy, right?
Well, I do have a lot of responsibilities, and with respect to the college, it's a shared responsibility with an independent board that is appointed by me and the governor. And then, of course, you have the State Board of Regents. Mm-hmm. So it's a shared responsibility, and I take that responsibility very, very as a very, very important part of what I do, because the college is an integral part of our county.
Yeah. I've always called Nassau Community College, in the past, actually, the best kept secret on Long Island, because people don't realize they could pay half to get an education, at least their 2-year degree, and transfer to any school in the country. And friends of mine have gone all over the country, from California all the way to the East Coast. And there hasn't been a school that did not accept the credits from Nassau Community College.
The academics at Nassau Community College are very, very good. However, since I've been in office, I've had a chance to come over to the campus many times, and I feel that the campus has been neglected over the years. And one of the things that I'm looking at right now is to centralize the campus and create a new campus that is more, let's say, centralized. Right now you have a campus where the buildings are spread out, which doesn't make any sense, because we want to keep people out of their cars, and we don't want to make the walk so long that it's not something that's convenient to the students. So I think the campus and the infrastructure are areas that I'm going to turn my attention to with the help of the board and, of course, the state.
Great. I think a lot of people that attend college here would agree with you right off the bat. Okay, well, let's get to business. So first up, we wanted to let you to respond to that Newsday article that was it was published about a week ago, and the title was as Nassau executive pushes the envelope, concern rises over the rhetoric. It mentioned your rally to support Daniel Penny, the former U.S. Marine, facing manslaughter charges for choking a mentally ill homeless man named Jordan Neely on the subway. It also mentions how you went to court to try to stop an outdoor hip-hop concert festival that was happening at the UBS Arena. And those are just two examples. Are you playing to the party's base, or what's your response to that article?
Well, I don't think it's the party's base. Basically, it's a question of right or wrong. Jordan Neely was arrested 42 times. He's alleged to have punched a 62-year-old woman in the eye, breaking her eye socket. He was acting in a menacing manner. And Daniel Penny, who has no arrest record whatsoever, he served with honor in the Marine Corps. He was promoted in the Marine Corps to sergeant, came to the aid of the subway riders that day. And unfortunately, while they were trying to subdue this guy, and it took 3 people to subdue him, he passed. It's an unfortunate circumstance, but Daniel Penny did nothing wrong. He was a good Samaritan, and this prosecution of him is very, very fishy. It stinks of politics. And again, I'm going to speak out because I send tens of thousands of Nassau County residents into Manhattan every day to commute, and I want to make sure they're safe. And I'm going to speak out on issues that are important to the residents of Nassau County, and one of them is subway safety. Right.
Well, let's just make it clear it wasn't a judge that brought those charges against Penny. it was a grand jury, and that's 16 to 23 people that saw the evidence and decided.
Yeah,
and
Judge Saul Walkler, who's the former chief judge of New York State, said that you can indict a ham sandwich with a grand jury. So,
that's true.
I mean, the level of scrutiny in a grand jury is incredibly low. Look, the prosecution is political. There's no doubt about that. Alvin Bragg did that with the Jose Alba prosecution until people rose up and said, hey, this bodega worker was attacked with a knife, and he responded with a knife, and he killed his attacker. He was defending himself. Mm-hmm. And when people rose up and said that's wrong, Alvin Bragg backed off, and he should back off now.
Okay. And you're also quoted as saying your job is, like you said, to protect the people in Nassau County. But and how does getting involved in the subway case speak to that?
Well, as I said, we send tens of thousands of people in every day. They commute to Manhattan. We pay to subsidize the subway system here on Long Island. We're subsidizing the New York City transit system, and we should have safe subways. But that doesn't change the fact that if a good Samaritan comes to the aid of people, that we shouldn't applaud that. Mm-hmm. That's something that we always have applauded in the past. And now there are people for political reasons who try to make the good Samaritans the ones who are doing something wrong. Look, this guy Jordan Neely was arrested 42 times, okay? And some of those were violent. Let's stop it. Mm-hmm. Let's stop it.
Right.
You know, people who are sticking up for him, to me, are people who have a political agenda. I have no political agenda. For me, it's right or wrong in protecting the residents of Nassau County.
Mm-hmm. So what's your reaction to the that article overall?
I think the article didn't tell the whole story. It talked about what they said was my rhetoric. So let's take the hip-hop concert.
Right.
I had no problem with a hip-hop concert when it was inside the arena like it was supposed to be. But when it was outside and there was no control over the crowd, and this concert promoter had a reputation for having violence at their concerts and drug overdoses. They had a concert in New Jersey with multiple arrests and drug overdoses. And when we found out about this particular concert, we met with the arena operators and the promoters, and they wanted us to provide additional protection, which we were willing to do, but we said you had to pay for it.
Right.
And that's what it was about. It had nothing to do with the content of the concert. Right. And they eventually paid us. We came to a settlement and they paid us, but we had to take them to court. Nassau County had to take them to court to get to pay for the 80 additional officers. Mm-hmm. If I'm taking 80 officers and I'm putting them over at the UBS Arena, they're coming out of other neighborhoods.
Right.
So that means if I want the other neighborhoods to be protected, I have to have overtime. That costs a lot of money.
Right.
So, and I'm here to protect the taxpayers. So I'm happy to report that because our police were there and because they did a great job, guess how many overdoses there were? None.
Right.
Guess how many arrests there were? None.
Interesting.
Okay. The concert went out. Everybody had a good time. The participants were protected. The surrounding community was protected. Our police are highly trained professionals. They did a great job. Mm-hmm. Everybody had a good time, but they were safe. Newsday didn't write that. They didn't report that. They didn't report the whole story. They had an agenda and an opinion that they were going to write before they got the facts. Mm-hmm. And let me say this. My relationship with the African American community is excellent. I meet with the black clergy every single month. I have increased the funding at the African American Museum. It's the first time in the history of Nassau County that they have a full-time employee there. We have increased programs in the African American community. We've increased programs in the Hispanic community. We had the first Feliz Navidad celebration with thousands of people here in Nassau County. We are hosting a black gospel choir, the Brown Boys. They're very acclaimed. We're doing cultural things. We're doing economic development. We've supported economic development in Roosevelt, Hempstead, Uniondale. I think that article didn't tell the whole story of what we're doing, but it's fine. They have an opinion and they want to put forth an opinion. I don't think it's true, but that's freedom of the press. They get to pay for the ink, so they can write whatever they want.
Right, and just so that you remember, you're free to come here anytime and voice any of your concerns because you don't have a newspaper.
Exactly.
But
listen, you know what? I don't think it's productive to fight with the media.
No.
I think that basically I can respectfully disagree and I'll get my point across one way or the other, and they'll get their point across and let the people decide. I'm not one who tends to fight with the media.
Yeah, no, that's. You're listening to this week's Long Island News on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Bill McIntyre, and my guest today is the county executive for Nassau County, Mr. Bruce Blakeman.
Can I make one more point?
Sure.
About a week and a half ago, there was an African-American gentleman who was with his girlfriend on the subway, and he was attacked, and he fought back, and he was arrested for fighting back, and I spoke up for him as well. So
right.
For me, it's about right or wrong. I don't look at race, ethnicity, or religion. I look at what's right or wrong, and they neglected to mention in the article that I stuck up for him.
Right. I think there's, just in general, there's too many knee-jerk reactions. Just people they read the title of the book, they never opened the book to even read the first page, and they have an opinion.
I would agree.
And it's a sad state of affairs. We all have to wait until things roll out and melt down, and you can see the true picture of, okay, this is what really happened. But you've already got a conversation going for a month, and nobody knows anything. That's the one of the not so beautiful sides of social media.
Well, that's absolutely true. And like I said, I'll state my reasons for what I do, and then it's up to the public to decide whether or not they agree with me or not.
Right, and that's fair. Now, okay, there has been a lot of speculation about what's to come at the site of the Nassau Coliseum now that the Sands proposal had been passed. So what's the latest on that?
Yeah, so I entered into negotiations about 9 months ago with the Sands over them taking over the operation of the Coliseum site and potentially opening a luxury hotel, entertainment center, and casino. The casino only would take up 10% of the footprint of the property, but it is the bank to fund the entertainment center and to fund the luxury hotel and to fund all of the community benefits and the tax revenues that would be gained from it, which could amount to $100 million a year for Nassau County, the town of Hempstead, and the surrounding communities, and also provide jobs and internships for Nassau Community College, which is part of the plan. So it was a situation where I looked at it and I said, you know what? It's a solid idea, and there are a lot of benefits. And they're also going to provide money for additional security, because security is always an important thing for me. So they'll pay $1.8 million a year to provide extra police protection so the taxpayers don't have to bear that burden. So I negotiated a deal with them that I thought was a good deal and sent it to the legislature, and the legislature agreed with me. They voted 17-1. Every Republican voted for it. Every Democrat voted for it except for one. There's always a contrarian somewhere in there. Basically, it's now something that has to go before the state. They're making an application. Now it'll be up to the state to decide whether or not they're entitled to a license.
Well, there's a little confusion too. Is let's just say the Sands doesn't get a gambling license. How does that affect the whole project? Well,
that's a very good question, and it's a question that I had. So we put into the agreement that the Sands has an absolute obligation, casino or no casino, to build a luxury hotel and an entertainment center.
Okay.
So they have to build that. Can they put other things in there to replace the casino? Yes.
Right.
But they have to build the entertainment center and the luxury hotel. That's an absolute in the lease agreement that we have with them.
Okay, so that would entail like a redesign of what they originally had in mind, other than the hotel and...
In the lease agreement, there's a plan A and a plan B.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the plan A is with the casino, the plan B is without.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's get so closer to home. It was reported that the $185 million budget for Nassau Community College was approved by the Nassau County Legislature, which also includes a tuition freeze from last year, which for many is great news. What are your thoughts on the future of the college and some of the struggles we had with enrollment, which right now is on the rise for the fall?
Well, Nassau Community College, when I was growing up here on Long Island, I grew up in Valley Stream, always had the reputation of being the crown jewel of community colleges in the United States. And I believe that jewel has been tarnished a little bit. And I think a lot of it has to do not with the academics, but again, with the infrastructure here. Mm-hmm. I think the infrastructure has been completely neglected. I would like to see a new campus. And between the casino and if we're able to place NYU Langone here, I think it would be a tremendous boost to the community college, and that we would be able to derive funds necessary to rebuild the campus and make it more student friendly, which is my goal. I have one standard for Nassau County. Everything has to be first class. So I want our community college to be first class. Right. I'm not saying it's not academically, but it's certainly not with the infrastructure.
Well, one of the obvious things is we sit in a radio studio that's in a building that was built for World War II. This was the hospital on Mitchell Field, and we are in the basement of that building. So they're still utilizing things that are, I don't know, do the math. What's that, 85 years?
Yeah, it's a mishmash. The buildings are fragmented. They're in various states of disrepair. And quite frankly, it's not something I want the Nassau County name on. I want to do something better. And once we finalize the NYU Langone deal, if we're able to get that done, then my next focus will be with the board and the state on designing a new campus.
Right. Excellent.
That again is a campus that works for the students because they're our customers.
Right. I just recently heard about the NYU Langone. That's a $3 billion deal.
Yes. NYU Langone wants to build a new hospital, medical center on the campus of Nassau Community College, which would be a tremendous boom to Nassau Community College for a lot of different reasons. First of all, NYU. NYU, I believe, is nationally ranked as the 25th best university in the United States. That's out of thousands of universities. So we're talking about top tier that will lend their name to Nassau Community College. NYU Langone is one of the finest healthcare networks in the world. They will provide internships and programs for students at Nassau Community College and careers, jobs. So it's a win-win. It'll be great for labor here on Long Island. It'll provide $3 billion in construction jobs. It'll provide thousands of permanent jobs, and it will provide jobs for Nassau Community College students in nursing, in healthcare, in hospitality, in many different areas. So I'm exceptionally excited about the fact that they want to locate here at Nassau Community College. And that's my next big project. The casino's out of the way. Now we want to do NYU Langone. And I think it would be great for the college and certainly great for the Uniondale, East Meadow community and the Hempstead community. I think it would be fabulous.
You've got a pretty full plate there, just juggling all of these things that, you know.
I've got a wonderful job. It gives me an opportunity to do a lot of important things. And I do have a lot of important things to do. There's the daily maintenance of just running a government. But you can't just be bogged down in that. You have to think big.
Yeah, sure.
And move ahead.
At this time, are you thinking of running again for county executive?
I'm going to make up my mind probably in a year.
Okay.
I'll sit down with my family and we'll see if it works. If I wake up with a fire in my belly, then yes, I will. Right. If I have all these projects that need completion and I want to see them to the end, yes, I will. There's a lot of speculation about me running for higher office. I can tell you that I am not running for United States Senate. I don't have my eye on any other seat. I love my job, and I've got these big projects, and I want to see them to fruition.
Yeah, definitely. You're listening to this week's Long Island News on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Bill McIntyre, and my guest today is the county executive for Nassau County, Mr. Bruce Blakeman. We do. I mean, we have a little time left. There was one thing that I wanted to ask you about, only because I'm not sure I know what it means. In one of the newspaper articles, you basically said that you're anti-woke, and I was curious what that means to you, or. I'm not even sure I know what woke means yet.
Well, what woke means to me is a bunch of people who sit around and try to undermine the liberties and the freedoms that we have here in America. And they do it in a very insidious way. They try to do it through indoctrinating our kids to having points of view and opinions that are contrary to the family values of people in our state and our country and here in the county. And a lot of it has to do with control. Centralized control by federal government, state government, control over people's lives, anti-religion, anti-democracy, anti-capitalism, pro-socialism, pro-control, taking away parental rights. That to me is woke, and I'm against that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's go on to the 4th of July is coming. And I just saw an ad for a big concert you've got going on. I guess it's the 8th of June. Is it June?
July?
July. I'm sorry.
We're
July.
already approaching July.
We're already. I just got back from Japan, so I'm still on that time.
It's quite a time difference.
Yeah. So tell us more about what's going on with the concert. And,
So our featured concert this summer is Boyz II Men, and we're very excited about it. I try to provide different types of musical genre. I have a very eclectic taste in music. And as a matter of fact, Newsday didn't write that I actually am a fan of rap and hip hop and listen to it, as well as country music and classic rock, and 60s music. Right. I have a very eclectic taste. Triesto was my choice for my theme song for when I ran for office last time. Let's get down to business. Mm-hmm. So I like all kinds of music, but Boyz II Men is our featured concert. They're great. They're one of the greatest rhythm and blues types of bands that we've ever had, groups I should say. And we also have Eli Young, who's an up-and-coming star in country music. We have Sugar Ray, that was a big popular music band in the 90s. We have the Brown Boys with gospel music. And last night we had a Broadway musical. So we have all kinds of entertainment for all kinds of people. And I would just say to the residents in Nassau County, don't have a narrow vision or a narrow taste when it comes to music. We've got all kinds of entertainment at Eisenhower Park at the Harry Chapin Lakeside Theater. Come out. I think you're going to have a good time no matter what the genre is.
And people can just bring a lawn chair and maybe a little picnic basket.
It's free. Bring a picnic basket, bring your lawn chair, bring your blanket. It's beautiful out. It's a beautiful venue. You're out in the nature. Yeah. It's outdoors. And the quality of the entertainment is great. We had 27,000 people last year for Joan Jett. I'm hoping Boyz II Men can beat that record.
Right. And we're also having a fireworks display.
Fireworks will be Saturday night. And the entertainment will start at 6:30. And the fireworks will start approximately 9:30. As soon as it's dark enough, the fireworks will go off. So 9:20, 9:30, when it's dark enough. Grucci Fireworks, they're the best in the world. Yeah. We'll have a beautiful entertainment. TD Bank is sponsoring that again. We thank TD Bank for their continued sponsorship of our American extravaganza. So, it's going to be a fun-filled summer.
I can remember as a kid, my grandparents lived in East Meadow, and we would walk down the block after dinner or whatever and actually sit on the front of a car, and Eisenhower Park was right there, and we would watch the whole fireworks display. It's a great memory.
Those are the kinds of memories that I want to create for the residents in Nassau County.
There you go.
So when the grandchildren grow up, they can say, I want to live in Nassau County because I had great memories being there for the fireworks, for concerts.
Yeah.
And all the events that we have.
Yeah, all those shared moments that, media has a big part in separating those. Remember, in the old days, an event was on television and people would come to work the next morning, and around the water cooler, they could share the same experience that they had. We don't have that anymore.
Well, we have 4,000 experiences
Exactly,
now.
exactly.
Too many choices.
And it's hard to find somebody who had the same one as you the night before. Is there anything else you would like to say to the listening audience? And
just that I have my eye on the ball when it comes to Nassau Community College. I think it's a great institution, and my job is to make it better.
Amen. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you.
And, please really remember, we're always open here.
If I want to rant?
You want to rant? you want to play poker? I mean, we could, just hang out.
I'm not a good poker player.
Well,
maybe in business.
Well, me either. Then that might be a good game.
Well, then you can go to the casino.
I think I'd be a one-arm bandit guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I have some friends who really know roulette and know those games, but
I don't gamble typically. So.
Yeah, no, me either. How about lottery tickets? I know people that get lottery. They get them every week. And I guess if you think you're actually going to win, I guess you really feel like you have to put the work in.
I'm not a lottery ticket guy.
No, me either. Once in a while, or put it in a card and give it to somebody. But yeah. Any event, I really want to thank you for.
Thank you.
I know you're busy, and just listening to the things that are coming up, besides the work of running the machine all the time, all this new stuff. When do you sleep?
I actually sleep very well. I'm a power nap guy. I'm usually out. My work day is typically 14 hours. So I'm a power nap guy to get my energy back, and I don't mind working. Hard work never killed anybody. I usually work, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., 11 p.m. So, and I love it.
Good thing.
Thank you.
A good thing. Well, my guest today has been the county executive for Nassau County, Mr. Bruce Blakeman. And again, thank you for taking the time to be here today and speak with us. And remember, the microphone is yours whenever you want it. So we can get you to promise that you will come back later this year to update us on all the things that are going on in Nassau County.
Will do.
Appreciate it very much. Well, the clock on the wall says it's time for this week's Long Island News to get on out of here. I'm Bill McIntyre. Remember, you can listen to us by searching for this week's Long Island News wherever you listen to podcasts. And we're right here every Friday on the radio at 3 p.m. on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.